Now, I want to integrate this organization with another organization using a partner visual file. So, how do you generate a partner visual file? Setup, build, develop, then we have API. We are getting here visual files. So, click on partner visual file. Click on partner visual file. So, how it was created? Now, I was trying to integrate So, what is the problem you have followed? Setup, generate the partner, setup, build, develop, API, partner visual file, generate, partner visual file, save as partner.visual. That's what I've done. Go to this, save this file as partner visual file. I saved. I saved this as partner visual file. I will save as partner visual file. I saved. Now, in which organization you logged in? Give, create a user, now give partner visual username password. So give username password to consumer. This is done at the service provider side. Now service consumer. Step 1. Log into service consumer. Am I audible, boss? Online people? Am I audible?
Yes, Satish.
Right. So first open the partner.visual file and change any type to string in the visual. in partner visual file. So in the partner visual file, there will be any type that we need to replace with the string. So go back to this. Now this the partner visual file. Any type replace with then. Cannot find. Okay. Now just save the file. Okay. Now once you're done with this, then step number 2. What is step number 2? Generate a Apex class based on partner visual file. Set up, build, develop, then Apex classes generated from choose a file. Pass. So I'm simplifying it with my own names. First, second, third. Generate. Now what happened? There's a mistake called anytime because there are 2 files from my end. So replace with go back again. How you generate? Generate from visual file. We are getting any type error there, which I replaced. Generate Apex class. Now, whatever the visual file we had, that is converted into your Apex class. The visual file is converted into Apex class. And go to this. Open. Partner example. This is a class which is generated. So whatever the visual file you gave, based on the visual file, we got this class. So the middle class is partner example. That class has the main service. Okay. I told 1, example 2. The middle class has the main service. In this class, we had a main service called login. We had a service called login. You have a class called login class. Sorry, login method. We have a method called login method. So come back and see. One of the class is login result. The login result, what are you getting here? Session ID, user ID. Is it a sandbox or a production? Is it a password expired? Some parameters are there. That will be looking into that issue. Login result. Now come back. You're getting a class called SOAP. There will be a class called SOAP class. What is the name of the class? So this is the name of the class. This endpoint URL I have to register with the remote side. First, let me finish this. Then we go to security controllers, remote side settings. So what is the name of the class we got there? SOAP class. So in the SOAP class, in the SOAP class, you'll be finding a method called login. Describe all the tabs. Then we had process, describe global, get user info. All these methods are here. In this, one of the method will be login, query mode, describe layout, menu, convert lead, describe. All these are services. What is the method we had? Login. The login, if I give username, password, what you are giving? Partner example, login. What they are giving? Login. So overall, what is the structure that is created? What is the structure that is created? What is the structure that is created? Let's go back. If you consume it, remove the file, generate the Apex class using the digital file. How do you generate? Setup, build, generate from digital. Then choose the digital file. Enter class names as then convert. When you create this, class will be coming like this. Public class partner example. Then within this, we get public class login result. The login result we are getting public string, public string user ID, public string and one more class is available, public class. In the SOAP class, what is the method we had? Public partner example dot login result. This is the structure what we received. this is a structure what is created. When this is a structure what is created, how do you access the class now? If you want to access any inner class, how do you do it? So create object for the subclass. The endpoint also will be there. Create a soap object for the soap class. How you create? Partner example dot soap sp equal to, because it's inner class, so we need to refer with the outer class dot then. How do you call the method? Partner example dot login result equal to sp dot login. Then you are supposed to pass Satish @admin password abc. You are supposed to generate security token also. Generate a security token and enter the security token. This is how we are going to create a session ID. So we got a partner visual file which we consumed. Once we consume the partner visual file, we got this structure. Once we got this structure, I'm making use of this structure and creating. I'm making use of this structure and creating session ID. Making use of this and getting session ID. Now let us see this. Now this is the format what we received. Let me execute now. Let me execute. Paste. Execute this. So whereas that account username is admin, you are supposed to create a user, but I'm using existing user. Salesforce 123. Because my IP address is open IP address, I'm giving it. But the problem here is session ID cannot be displayed on log file. Session ID cannot be displayed on the log file. Session ID cannot be displayed in the log file. So what I'm doing, I'm creating this as a VF page. So go to the VF page. Apex. Just I'm taking the credentials. Just we want to check whether session ID is created or not. So basically I was supposed to create a class. So for example, now in this class what do I have? Public string username, public string and I'm giving here whatever the code I wrote here, the same code. What was that? Username, then I was supposed to get result equal to session ID. Session ID. This is what I created. Page block buttons. So go for a preview. So one mistake I made here. What is the mistake? Re-render 1. So go back to the screen again. Create admin@313.com. So what happened now? We received session ID. In the REST API, we have used authentication to get the session ID. In the REST API, I have used authentication to get the session ID. In the REST API, I have used authentication to get the session ID. But here we had a method. Here we had a method. Here we had a method. Using that method, I have a method. Using that method, I am getting the session ID. Right? Are you clear? So whatever the data we are passing in the method, that will go like a header, body of the response. Whatever the data we are passing in the parameters in the method which you are calling, if you are passing the data like a parameter, it will go like a body of the request. It will go like a body of the request. So it is a SOAP call with a body, with the content in the body. We are passing the credentials in the body of the request. In the method, we are passing a parameter. So these parameters are passed in the SOAP body. These parameters are passed in the SOAP body. In the request, we are setting the body and passing the parameters. Are you getting? Any data that we are passing as a parameter in the service, that will go like a body in the request. Now this is how we generated the partner visual file. So that organization has generated a partner visual file which we consumed. Then we generated a session ID. Right. Now once you generated a session ID, you want to request some service. Now this is a admin people, admin. In the admin arc, once again what I'm doing, I'm creating a web service file. Look at this. These people are generating some web service program for you. Global. This is a service they define. So if you pass the name and industry, they are going to insert the record and going to give you result. So what they are doing? Go to these Apex classes, generate the visual file. This is how we create. Now come back to this organization. So you should have a clarity what we are doing. We should have a clarity what we are doing. So in this case, go to this organization, visual file. So here, what is the org? Generate the partner visual file. Here only create a static. Web service string. What is the method I told? Create, right? Have string record created successfully. Now, so what I was supposed to give? Then generate the visual file. What do you generate? Setup, build, Apex class, Save as. Now, give partner visual file, soap demo visual file, username, password to the consumer. So this is what we have done in the organization. So we have generated a partner visual file. We have created a web service. For that web service, we have created a visual file. Now here, this is used to create a session. Now what is the next one? Consume the create. So what I'm doing again, setup, build. I'm giving the steps to do that. Develop, setup, build, develop. Then what we had? Choose soap demo visual file and give the class name as service example. This is what we are doing. So now go to your org, go to your org, setup, build, develop, Apex classes, generate from Visual, choose the file of soap demo, then give the class name, service example, generate Apex code. Now Apex code is generated. Generate Apex code is generated. So the file which is generated will not be visible. So I need to reopen the file. Now, go to this soap example, service example. If you go to service example, in the service example class, we'll be having the main class. What is the name of the main class? Soap. Now in the soap demo, what is the method we had? The soap demo what we have created. But here we are supposed to pass the session ID. In the REST API, what did I do? Using OAuth, I created a session ID. That session ID I kept in a header and set. Am I right? In the REST API, what did I do? I have used authentication. Then I have generated session ID. Whichever the session ID I got, request.set header, authorization, OAuth session ID. Similarly, whatever the session ID that was generated, that I was supposed to pass. Where you are supposed to pass? In the element called session header element. Right. So basically, this will be creating a structure like this. Let me give you. This class will create a structure. Public class. So this example. Public class. Then we had session header element. In the session header element, we have public string. Then we had public class. So we had public example dot So we had public string create. This is what we have got. Now when you consume it, this is a structure what we are going to get. Then how will you create this now? Tell me. Create an object. Create an object for what do you create? Service example dot. So then I have this is what we got. Then I was supposed to pass the session ID. How do you pass? This is the element. There is element. So how do you refer to the element? Service dot. To make it simple, I'll create an object for this class. What was that? Service example dot session element ss equal to new service example dot now basically for the session header element I need to pass session ID. So this is an object of session header element. So I create an object. In that object what I'm doing, ss dot session ID equal to, above one we got session, right? Here we got a session ID. Whatever the session ID we got in the above step. Session ID I have to pass. After passing session ID, service dot this is what we got. Now all these three steps are for what? Passing the session ID. Created an object for the session header element, then I pass the session ID. Whatever the header element I created, that I am assigning to this session. Account ACC equal to new account, ACC dot name. What I have done right now is I have like this. Then I'm creating ACC equal to A. Is it valid or not? What did I do? I created one account record. I am assigning to ACC. Similarly, what did I do here? I created one header element that I assigned to header. Then you are supposed to call your service. String my call equal to service dot create Wipro. This is the way of creating. So first step is to create a session header. First step is to create a session ID. Second step is to pass the session ID to the service. Now in this class, already session ID is created. So what I'm doing now, I'm adding some extra points here. Then session header element. Then it dot session ID equal to, what is the session ID we got here? Login details dot system. Then I'm giving excuse me, public string status equal to service dot create ACC name and industry. So I am connecting to that org and also making a request to that org to create a record. So in the VF page, I was supposed to add 2 more columns. This is what I've done. I'm going to give So let us go back and see. So what is the final structure what we received? Then I told login. Now one mistake I have done, which is re-rendering. Now I didn't give you the remote site settings. I was supposed to create this. So go to the remote site settings and create this, because of which let me cross check the code what I have given. Service okay, sysnet error I have given. So here I would give then I was supposed to give service session header equal to the session header whatever I created I need to pass to the top one. I'll explain the code first. Let me finish the example. Now I have inserted. Then what happened? Record was created successfully. This is the ID of the record. Take this record ID, go to this class, this is a record which is inserted in this organization. I hope you are clear. So from one org I am trying to make a service request to second org and insert the data in that org. Now in this example, what you are supposed to understand, few points you are supposed to understand. First here, generate soap class. In the login method, you need to pass username, password. If it is a Salesforce, you are supposed to give security token also. If it is a Salesforce, you are supposed to give security token also. In my case, I made OpenIP, so it didn't ask me for security token. Otherwise, you are supposed to pass security token. Then we generated what? Login result. In the login result, what is there? There is an attribute called session ID. Now, what I was supposed to do, create a object for session header. Plus pass the assign the generated in the above step. So whatever the session head service example header element, then what we are doing, assigning the session header element and head dot session head equal to ID which was generated in the above step. ID which was generated in the above step. First we have generated a session ID. That session ID is assigned to session header element. So what are we doing? Create an object for the service class. Invoke the service. So look at this in 3 steps. One is generation of session ID. Second one is creating a session header and assigning the session ID to the session header. Third one, invoking the service. So these are the ways in which I am connecting to the third party using a partner digital file and invoking a service. Right? Right, boss? Whatever the session header element I created here, that header should be assigned to this is how we are making. I have just given a step-by-step procedure here. Follow the step-by-step procedure and invoke the service. Right, boss? I hope you are clear. So what we are doing, somebody is giving you a partner visual file and they are giving a service. By using that partner visual file, we are making a request and consuming that service. I hope I am clear with this. Am I clear with this service? Right? Okay. Now, what is the advantage of this partner visual file? Any changes that are made in the service organization, that will be automatically reflected in the partner visual file.